The Galactic Council chamber was silent, save for the faint hum of the holographic displays that floated above the central dais. Queen Xylara, sovereign of the Zynthar Dominion, stood tall and regal, her iridescent exoskeleton shimmering under the soft light. Her multifaceted eyes scanned the room, taking in the representatives of a dozen species, each one a member of the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. Yet, her gaze lingered longest on the human delegate, a small, fragile-looking creature named Ambassador Elena Reyes. "Your species," Xylara began, her voice a melodic yet condescending chime, "has only recently joined the Galactic Council. Or, quaint, resourceful perhaps in your own primitive way. But you lack the strength, the unity, and the technological prowess to stand among the true powers of the galaxy." Elena Reyes met the Queen's gaze without flinching. Her dark eyes were calm, but there was a fire behind them, a spark that Xylara couldn't quite understand. "Respectfully, Queen Xylara," Elena said, her voice steady. "Humanity may be new to the galactic stage, but we have faced challenges that would break lesser species. We are stronger than you think." Xylara let out a soft, mocking trill, the Zynthar equivalent of a laugh. "Strength. You speak of strength, yet your kind squabbles among themselves, divided by petty conflicts and territorial disputes. Your technology is rudimentary, your ships slow and fragile. You are insects, scurrying about in the shadow of giants." The other delegates shifted uncomfortably. The Zynthar Dominion was the most powerful empire in the galaxy, and Xylara's words carried weight. But Elena remained unmoved. "Strength isn't just about technology or military might," she said. "It's about resilience, adaptability, the will to survive no matter the odds." Xylara's antennae twitched in amusement. "Survival. Your species clings to life on a single, fragile planet. One asteroid, one plague, one war, and you could be wiped out. You're not strong. You are lucky." Elena's lips curved into a faint smile. "Luck has nothing to do with it. Humanity has faced extinction before, and we've always found a way to endure. But if you doubt our strength, perhaps you should see it for yourself." The room fell silent. Xylara tilted her head, intrigued. "And how, pray tell, would I do that?" Elena's smile widened. "By witnessing what happens when humanity is pushed to the brink." The opportunity to test Elena's claim came sooner than anyone expected. A week after the council meeting, the Zynthar Dominion's outer colonies came under attack by the Krylos, a ruthless species of raiders known for their brutal tactics and advanced weaponry. The Krylos had been a thorn in the side of the galaxy for centuries, but no one had been able to stop them. Xylara's fleet was powerful, but the Krylos were cunning. They struck quickly, hitting supply lines and communication hubs, leaving the Zynthar forces scattered and disorganized. Desperate, Xylara turned to the Galactic Council for aid. To her surprise, it was humanity that answered the call. The human fleet arrived at the edge of Zynthar space, a modest force compared to the Dominion's armada. Their ships were smaller, their weapons less advanced, but there was something about them that gave Xylara pause. They moved with precision, their formations tight and disciplined. And there was a determination in their transmissions, a resolve that bordered on fanaticism. "Queen Xylara," came the voice of Admiral James Carter, the human fleet's commander. "We're here to assist. But if we're going to win this, you'll need to trust us." Xylara hesitated. Trusting a lesser species went against everything she had been taught. But she had no other options. "Very well," she said. "But know this, Admiral. If you fail, your species will be remembered as a cautionary tale." Carter's response was calm, almost amused. "We won't fail." The battle that followed was unlike anything Xylara had ever seen. The Krylos had expected the Zynthar fleet to fight with brute force, as they always did. But the humans fought differently. They used guerrilla tactics, striking quickly and then disappearing into the void. They targeted the Krylos supply lines, cutting off their reinforcements and forcing them to fight on multiple fronts. But what truly shocked Xylara was the humans' willingness to sacrifice. When a Krylos battleship broke through the Zynthar lines, heading straight for a civilian colony, a single human ship intercepted it. The ship, a small frigate named the Dauntless, rammed the battleship at full speed, destroying both vessels in a blinding explosion. The colony was saved, but at a terrible cost. "Why?" Xylara asked, her voice trembling with a mix of awe and disbelief. "Why would they do that?" Elena, who had been observing the battle from the Zynthar flagship, turned to the Queen. "Because that's who we are," she said simply. "We protect our own. And when we give our word, we keep it, no matter the cost." Xylara stared at the holographic display, watching as the human fleet continued to push the Krylos back. She had always believed that strength came from power, from technology, from numbers. But the humans had shown her something else entirely. They had shown her the strength of the human spirit. The battle ended in a decisive victory for the Zynthar Dominion and their human allies. The Krylos were driven back, their fleet in ruins. But for Xylara, the victory was bittersweet. She had won the battle, but she had lost something far more important, her certainty. In the aftermath, she summoned Elena to her chambers. The human ambassador entered with the same calm confidence she had shown in the council chamber. "Queen Xylara," she said, bowing her head slightly. "You wish to speak with me." Xylara studied her for a long moment. "I owe you an apology," she said finally. "I underestimated your species. I saw your weaknesses, but I failed to see your strengths. For that I am sorry." Elena nodded. "Apology accepted. But you don't need to apologize to me. You need to understand that humanity is more than what you see on the surface. We may not have the biggest ships or the most advanced technology, but we have something that can't be measured. We have heart." Xylara's antennae twitched, a sign of deep thought. "Heart," she repeated. "A strange concept. But perhaps there is something to it." Lena smiled. "Perhaps. And perhaps in time, you'll come to see that strength comes in many forms." Xylara inclined her head, a gesture of respect. "Perhaps I will. And perhaps one day our species will stand as equals." Elena's smile widened. "I look forward to that day." As the human ambassador left the chamber, Xylara turned to gaze out at the stars. For the first time in her long life, she felt a sense of humility. The galaxy was vast, and there was much she still had to learn. But one thing was certain: humanity was a force to be reckoned with. and she would never underestimate them again.